serious, why do you buy OnlyFans content when adult content is available online for free? Because you really want to see what that girl from university's like. Supporting local business. Went to school with a girl and found out on Reddit actually that she was a popular cam girl, and now I know what her looks like. Just the girl down the street. Small world. Mass produced starts to feel fake after 12 months of social isolation. Also, I'm sick of opening a site and seeing 17-step sibling/parent videos. I don't even get why people like you know it's fake. The maker knows it's fake. Everyone knows it's fake. At this point I'm willing to believe that people watch step videos because they are like half of all videos, and then producers data shows that people like step, so they keep putting out more and more, and the cycle continues. When these videos starting popping up a few years back, I was between apartments and staying at my parents'. Knowing how the sites will recommend videos based on your ripe history, I thought my parents or sister had an incest fetish until it became apparent that it was just the new trend in porn. Anyways, I'm pretty sure you're right about the analytics. By the way guys, if you are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It will help us out quite a bit, and if you don't enjoy the videos in the future anymore, you can always unsubscribe. Let's get back to the video. Some people get off to pretty niche or custom content, and they likely have exhausted all of their free options. It's the same reason you might pay for a Patreon for a podcast, even though there are a plethora of free podcasts out there. You like someone's shtick, and you want more of it. To add, not just wanting more, but some people feel obligated to pay for content if they use it. I used to think like op, then I realized I'm subbed to Twitch streamers just because I use them for entertainment and feel like they deserve it. Absolutely. I'm sure op pays for something that can be found for free because they have a special affinity for it. It just happens not to be. I'll pay for but I won't pay for a hardcover book. It's the custom content and library life for me. Good example. Though I would say most don't use the library because of convenience. But it would be like op saying, why do you all buy books at Barnes & Noble when the library is free? I like to have a mini library at home. It's like a showcase of all the stuff I've read. Sometimes I'll buy a book I've already read just to add it to the display. It's silly, but I like it. Cheap thrill really. I know her. I wanted to see what she looked like naked. I subbed for 1 month. Worth it. Can you subscribe and be anonymous so she can't see who you are? Otherwise that's a pretty ballsy move, haha. I subbed to a girl I know with an account that is clearly me. Next time I saw her, she thanked me for the support and I thanked her for letting me see her. Then we had a few beers with our friends. Wasn't that weird? In college I ran into girls I knew from school working in a strip joint. I tipped them, they thanked me, and we chatted a bit. If it was slow they grabbed a drink and came and sat with us for a bit. Same as you, it wasn't weird at all, either then or when we'd see each other on campus. I support small businesses. This. After even doing a little bit of research, work desperately need unions and some industry regulation just like any other workplace for the exact same reasons we see all over the market. Even the celebs of this industry aren't getting a fraction of what the owners are making hand over fist. I did Southwestern in college and the pay was so bad. I worked as a cam girl and did calls. The cam service meant that I streamed myself at the same time as hundreds of other girls, and if someone clicked to watch me, they could tip me in coins, which they bought off the company. I received a nickel for every coin I was tipped. There was no pay for working, you just made whatever you could convince people to tip you. Call work was even worse. You're scheduled to be on call, but you only get paid for time actually spent on the phone. I had to take unscreened calls from men, some of which I refused when they literally wanted me to act out something illegal, and was paid roughly 0.10 per minute. The average call lasted about 2 minutes, and I would get about 10 per hour. I was the one doing all the work and getting paid pennies while companies were getting rich off me. No thank you. I bought a subscription once because I fancied a particular person and was curious what she'd post on there. I cancelled after a month though. Was it worth it? Yeah, pretty much. A few dollars for thousands of pictures and tons of videos. I squeezed my hog like 5,000 times to it, so well worth the money, but I got a little tired of the same person, so that's when I cancelled. That's marriage. Really having with a real person and jacking it person are actually like way different. No, it was a dumb analogy joke. I'm not good at jokes. I know the feeling of both. Different sets of endorphins are released. Oh, I heard a good thing on the radio today. If you like a new person, don't until after 10th date. Such things. Adult content is easily available, but quality adult content is tougher to find. In particular, I have never found professional housing. Rather comical. I used to watch a lot of that was one of a kind website, but now 90% of content is gone. Of course I have downloaded most of videos I liked, but there will be no new ones unless switches focus from general to amateur. I haven't paid for yet, but I can certainly see myself doing this. Same here, a lot of the professional stuff just doesn't work for me. I've never subscribed for but the professional turns me off. The women don't ever seem to be enjoying it. If anything, they seem like they're doing it for a job, which is exactly what they're doing. And there's nothing intimate about that, and so it doesn't turn me on. I just go to amateur stuff on PH. Yep. Sometimes you want to watch the gritty documentary with the real people and real emotions instead of the over-glamorized blockbuster Hollywood remake. Honestly, it's really hard to know the person making the content is doing it by themselves for themselves. Free websites tend to be exploitative, but it actually protects the people making the content. Plus, awesome. Why not pay to get exactly what you're looking for and to support some pretty women? This is what I came to point out. Sites are typically operated by the person on them. These are people who have made the active decision to put their body on the internet. The free stuff online is far too often linked to trafficking and or other behaviors, or is posted without the person's consent. Means subscribers are paying performers directly for their work instead of potentially funding traffickers. And obviously not all people in the industry are psychopaths, but enough are that I don't really ever want to look at seems to be the best way currently to make sure you're not looking at someone being exploited. I'm quite depressed I had to scroll this far down to find someone talking about the somewhat common, arguably rampant problem with free sites hosting illegal immoral that can be physically abusive, not necessarily on camera, minors, or posted without consent, etc. like you said. And I could be mistaken, but I think more than one of them have been uncooperative/unresponsive when it comes to implementing solutions or even just removing the content in a timely manner. To make sure you're paying someone who is willingly doing this, instead of watching ads that give money to knowing that they accept any content without checking where it comes from and won't remove it when, sometimes underage, girls tell them that they did not consent to the video of their, sometimes video being posted. Just a matter of being responsible in the adult content you watch and who you give money to. How current is that issue? I know this was a huge deal recently, but haven't they purged all videos unless they are uploaded by a verified account now? I don't know how it is now. I do know they refused to do anything about it until their income was directly impacted by it. You're free to still give them money, but I'll pass. The owners of own many other sites with this content still online. Also, it will just be uploaded again on other more niche websites. And I heard that now it's only a hit called. Really that true? If you got money you can do anything, I suppose. Pretty sure 1 second on Google will give more insight. Of really is one of the few sites where I can be quite sure that it's from someone that really wants to do that and gets the money. A girl from my hometown that I've known from elementary to high school created an account last year to make extra cash. paid 1 month for the first time this past January to check it out, and damn, it was worth the money. Out of curiosity, how did you find out she made one? My understanding is there's no way to see of creators who are in your network or whatever. She advertised it on her social media accounts like nothing. Didn't seem to care that her family would find out, but she's pretty successful cause of that from what it seems. She probably figured people who knew her would most likely be the ones to subscribe without hesitation. Got it. Damn, I wish my hot female friends would do that kind of blatant advertising. Like half my timeline was like this. A lot of my attractive female friends joined after quarantine started. For looks, mostly. These days I can be pretty picky with my adult content that it takes an hour to look for that one perfect clip with that perfect model. So when you find a model who you enjoy, it can save you a lot of research hours every month. Then there is the reason of curiosity. Wanting to see that specific person naked even for once. Then there is people who feel emotionally invested to a person. A streamer or YouTuber you've been following and watching for months or even years. You think you can get even more connected to the person with personal messages and dirty talk. I'm same with what you written in the first paragraph. But at the same time I would prefer not to see someone naked and leave it up to imagination. Just like olden days with magazines and dial-up connection. Hahaha. I haven't actually subscribed to an of, more of a smut gal, but I like the idea of it better than sites like. With large sites like that I often feel a little uneasy about the ethics of it. There have been plenty of people taken advantage of via those sites, revenge like. I don't know how well the people involved were treated, and I don't like the overall industry. However, I do respect individual workers. Of is based on consent, which I appreciate. I know the people have voluntarily done this, and I know the money goes to them, aside from whatever the platform takes. Like, I'm sure there are exceptions. I'm sure some people are pressured into doing an of, but I feel more reasonably assured that it benefits the creator. In general I support workers, but not the industry at large. I used to see a lot of burlesque shows and always tipped well, as you should. No shows due to pandemic, and most of the performers I liked have an of now. So I subscribed to them using the money I used to use for tipping. Same reason I don't pirate nature documentaries. I want them to continue to be made at high quality, and someone needs to pay for that to happen. Why do you become a public radio member when you can listen for free? Not sure why this is at all hard to understand. I have had a few friends talk about how it makes them feel better about the ethics of it all. Lots of sites have zero oversight, and a lot of non-consensual / supposedly private stuff gets posted, along with people who are underaged. The is terrible to performers, especially women, and nobody really does anything about it. Of pays people and gives them control over their videos and is well vetted, and so people feel better about it viewing and consuming it. I would, because certain models only share a limited amount of content for free and tease some really good content on their of. It's more of an issue of providing my credit card info and having to do so much verification of makes me send in my face and ID, like WTF, that it prevents me from even wanting to go through with it. They do that to prevent minors accessing. This is a big problem with producing adult content, trying to police your followers to make sure they're all legal adults. I've had to block 16-year-olds, one of whom tried to send me a which is seriously gross. I'm happier on of knowing the people who access my page are legally adults. That explains the ID and face pic, but the credit card must is just plain stupid and completely backwards. I personally haven't paid for it, but a majority of the time some reasons are you can get content for your kink. Think of it like a commission for. Some people like particular creators and want to support them / see more of their specific content. It's more ethical generally speaking. Up until recently, PH needed no verification to post content. Anyone could upload, and there was no way to really verify the circumstances in which the videos were produced. There's multiple occurrences of people uploading videos of especially of minors, and PH would do nothing when they were reported and asked to be removed. Recently they did a huge overhaul of their site and deleted a huge amount of content from unverified accounts, if I remember correctly. It seems more likely because of potentially losing payment accounts like Visa and PayPal rather than moral reasons. Purchasing self-produced content is a bit more ethical. You can get content for your kink. Think of it like a commission for Assuming that this is true, how would a person, not me obviously, but a totally separate person, find people that put out content specifically related to a kink? As a content creator, I've been told it's because fans can actually interact and talk to us. We provide the fantasy and make it personal. You can't get that from all the free stuff available on the net. Also, as others have said, it's just a way of showing appreciation and support for someone you enjoy watching. Making content does take time and work, filming, editing, equipment, etc., not to mention. Even if we enjoy what we do, nobody wants to work for free all the time. We have bills that have to be paid in order to post the content, internet, mobile, etc. And some people actually appreciate and understand that it really is work, and so they help support what we do. For that we say thank you, and we make it personal for our fans. So in my opinion, that is why. Once I had a subscription as a gift, and ask me same question. For me it's a good way to support the people. In these days it's huge that everyone can express himself on this platform like they want. And if you think about it, you shouldn't ask this question only for this platform. Why do people subscribe to YouTubers and Twitch streamer and donate to them if their content is absolutely free? Why do you tip the musician on the street? She will play all the day, even if nobody give tips. Because it's some credit for the entertainment and the work. Because they offer tailored services for reasonable rates. You can interact with them, you get to know them, and they get to understand how they can better serve you or a There's far too much taboo in work. They're just trying to make money while providing an overwhelmingly positive service. And no joke, as a conservative I love it. I'm not joking when I say that I know I've supported a lot of people through the pandemic. Men and women. I know several that have found new careers. This is a new sector in America and we should embrace it into capitalism. Crazy idea, right? People who are already frequent users of need novel stimulation according to Coolidge effect, not take this as 100% accurate science BTW. Also people want more customizable type of where the user feel like he has a take on the type of content that will be made, basically is a collective exploitation of the individual creating material. I would like to add that the creator of the material is usually an individual who needs the money and is also horny, gets satisfaction in some way doing this. So he/she is inadvertently utilizing biological behavioral needs in a way that creates this artificial market that is obviously going to end up like many boom and bust, pun intended, markets. Not seeing a lot of responses from this angle, so here goes. It's a good way to ensure that those starring in the watching are doing so of their own volition and are not being exploited. Exploitation and trafficking are rampant in the industry and it's really easy to stumble across a video starring someone who's been coaxed into performing, or worse, and not know the difference. Paying for someone's means they are getting a good portion of the profit from the content they make. They are making it because they want to, and you're not supporting a toxic exploitative industry. Of is ethical consensual. Because of this, it's also more genuine, which is awesome. This is gonna be an unpopular opinion. I feel like society has overcorrected from super religious be a lady/gentleman to be as nasty as you possibly can be. Any type of rules, and I think it's just a bit too much. Say what you want about work, but I just don't see how these women and men have decided that they want their entire image, life, existence, and eventual memory when they pass away to be centered around. It just doesn't compute with me that in 60 years, people will be finding pictures of their grandmas online shoving markers in their for $5. Like, isn't that a bit sad and pathetic? And the bigger issue is that people are willing throwing away their money for and it's once again considered normal and even healthy / progressive. Why? Because you don't want to go to church, so you have to be a pervert instead. There's absolutely no middle ground to be found. If a man 40 years ago had a monthly payment to some of his favorite strippers and dancers at a club, he would be considered mentally ill and in need of therapy. But now, we applaud it and applaud the women that encourage men to give their paychecks for strange. Again, I know I sound ignorant, so don't come at me with words. Just trying to understand why society is the way that it is. 10 years from now, some woman comes up to me and says, yeah, I my with a big 12-inch on camera so that these 40-plus-year-old men can worship me, and that's how I make a living. And I'm supposed to be, oh yeah, woo, you go girl. Such progressive feminism from you. The fact that the definition of feminism in 2021 is making a happy is literally the most backwards and laughable idea ever. Like, isn't that where you began? Making happy, and somehow that's progress, that you're now even more devoted to making happy, lol. Because people like to support content creators they love, regardless of whether they are YouTubers, Twitch streamers, podcasters, or workers. Why is this such a strange question? Like, yeah, I get it, there's so much free why would you ever pay for it? There's also free YouTube and podcasts and so on. Hell, as Don Oteet said, if it takes you more than 4 minutes to pirate something, then you've wasted your time and $1 is worth less than your time. People don't want they want this person's Why do you think people always ask for the name of performers in threads? Why do you think there are subreddits dedicated to specific stars? Clearly there's people who don't want some naked woman, they want a specific naked woman, in a specific naked way. I don't do either, but places like are literally known for posting minors, videos, revenge, abuse, etc. It often usually objectifies women and promotes violence, while faking female pleasure in every way. Not to mention lesbian stuff looks fake as hell, and is completely tailored to men. So by paying towards more ethical platforms that are more strict about what can be displayed or not, and supporting individual creators, people can ease their mind a bit about if what they're viewing is ethical or not. I've paid for a subscription for a couple of very select women that I wanted to see nude. Both of them were just people, not a celebrity or literally a supermodel I'd been following on Twitter for some time, and when they started an OnlyFans, I just had to see it. I'd do the same for anyone else in the future if there were more individuals I wished to see naked. It was worth it for at least one of them. Her content was generous, she put it all out there. Very happy and satisfied about that one. I did a couple times and recently got right out. It's total poison. These girls feign like they give about you for your money. There's actually subs here where they discuss how to swindle men out of money. It's atrocious. Then on top of it is an undesirable male that has a hard enough time landing a date you end up not even trying anymore. Why would I, when I paid like $8 to see someone way better looking than I could ever get? Then it set in how lonely I'd become and how I was losing conversational skills with the opposite. It's straight poison. Get out while you can. Then the girls make this big deal about how much work they put in. You got while a stationary camera filmed you? You did zero work. You were gone anyway. Get a job, bum. Also, how is every girl in the top 0.2%? The whole thing is beyond. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed watching this, you might as well watch these too.